So he's talking about the 5 civilized tribes that kept slaves. Man, I gotta tell you, I hate doing this. Why is it that whenever I see a black creator talking about natives, it's always about this shit? Now, he talked a lot of smack in that video and showed maps and stuff, but he didn't show one source. Someone who wants to be the #1 history resource for black people, you'd think he'd actually have sources. I'm not here to fight, and I'm not here to cause division. I'm here to talk about the real history of America. Do black people ever wonder why there's 3 times as many of you as there are of us in our own country? Brace yourself, I'm about to drop a critical race nuclear bomb. With sources. I was absolutely heartbroken when I learned about this stuff. So one of my teachers was an Afro-Indigenous man from one of the southern tribes, the Osceola tribe. He was a medicine man. He looked black but dressed native. I had asked him why didn't the black people join the natives after they got their freedom from slavery. Then he told me he was descended from buffalo soldiers. And he told me the story of buffalo soldiers. He actually carried an old photo that looked a lot like this, and he said one of his ancestors was in it. Following the Civil War, African American men, known as buffalo soldiers, served on the western frontier battling Native Americans. They passed the legislature in 1866, the same year that Crazy Horse fought Custer and won. After the slaves were freed, they wanted to achieve the equality of the white man, and there weren't many options left to them except the military. Approximately 180,000 African Americans who served in the Union Army during the Civil War were also a part of this. The black Union soldiers were joined by many freed slaves from the South and assisted America in the westward expansion. Their main duty was support in the westward expansion, but according to my teacher, they were also stationed in the plains and assisted in the eradication of the bison. Even though the rest of the black people were experiencing severe racism and discrimination, they still served in the military. Maybe because they were tricked. Because they were separated from their African spirituality, most black people today are Christian. So to get back to my teacher's story, his ancestor was stationed in the plains. Apparently the military would set them up in a little fort, give them a big case of .50 caliber ammo, and their only job would just be to shoot as many bison as they could. And he said many of them were forgotten out there. They weren't even told when the war had ended or when their service time was over. Eventually, after years, they deserted their posts and they ended up on the reservation, where the natives took them in and made them family. So 1866 to 1890 is the Indian Massacre era, where both the black and white people joined up to eradicate the Native Americans. And they were still taken in by natives and made family.